Hey everybody, welcome back to Shock and Schlock. I'm your host Herschel Gillis, and today is day 4 of my 31 days of horror reviews. So, what am I covering today? Well, I'm covering something pretty infamous, something known for being disturbing. It's also fairly well known, um, and it's infamous for two reasons. That being, they, I believe it's 11 minutes long scene of sexual assault. That is one take and one camera shot that never pans away, and a scene involving a fire extinguisher. And just by that description alone, I know a lot of you are probably already knowing that I'm going to be talking about Gaspar Noé's 2002 psychological horror thriller, Irreversible. Um, Before I get into the storyline, I have to say this first because it's gonna not make any sense if I describe like the opening of this without saying this. Um, the film is experimental in the way that it plays in reverse chronological order. So if you haven't seen this movie and you want to know what I'm talking about, another movie that sort of has the same almost format is Memento from Christopher Nolan, where it's told in reverse chronological order. So it's a rape and revenge movie where you see the revenge first. Um, and the revenge is extremely graphic, by the way. This is definitely not a film for those who are faint of heart. I know this is more of a mainstream thing than some things I talk about, but this is definitely like an NC. I believe it actually was NC-17 when it came out. Has the warning contains graphic sex and violence for mature audiences only, which is true. Definitely heed that warning. Um, so the film follows two men who are seeking revenge um, for the rape of um, one of the men's friend, and she's the girlfriend of the other man. And we see how this plays out. It's almost like a mystery where you see the resolution first. Um, Originally, I believe, like if you went to this film blind, the revenge is supposed to be like so harsh and shocking that you're trying to find like a reasoning or whatever, like what could cause this level of violence. It's literally at the beginning of the movie, and it's one of the reasons the movie's infamous. So if you don't want to hear what happens, just stop watching. Go watch the movie. Come back if you want to. The movie's very good. I'll say that first. Um, so yeah, very good. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, just go watch it. But the revenge in the beginning of the movie, or the act of violence that you see, as a man gets his head completely crushed with a fire extinguisher. It's extremely graphic. Lasts much longer than you would expect. And the entire opening of the film has this. Gaspar Noé put this sound specifically in there, like this tone that is actually scientifically shown to cause like panic and distress and like nausea. And it plays like the entire scene. The camera's flipping around and zooming in on everything, and it's very intense and like disorienting. And it's supposed to be. That's the point. It's like it causes this intensity that sort of mirrors the like anger and the pain that the protagonist are feeling in the moment there. Um, and it just, as I said, it goes in reverse order. So the next scene it shows everything leading up. So you start uncovering the mystery from the end to the beginning. Um, it's very well done. It's sometimes can be jarring, especially towards the end of the film, which would be the beginning in another film. So you see like the happy, like normal beginning versus what happens. Um, but overall, works really well. Um, and the other thing I, of course, have to talk about the reason the film is so infamous, and the reason that a lot of people know this movie is because of the rape scene um, of the man, one of the protagonists. Um, but she is the girlfriend of the one man and the friend of the other from the beginning. It's 12 minutes or 11 minutes. completely uncut, one camera shot, one take, never shies away. It's very graphic. It's very real feeling. Very gritty. It's not like glamorized or stylized at all. There's no camera tricks. It's just one, and you're forced to watch. And it's horrible, and it's supposed to be horrible. It's supposed to make you feel sick, and it does. It's very intense. There's no music. It's just the sound of the tunnel and the woman and the man in question, and it's brutal and disturbing. Um, it may be, in fact, one of the most harrowing scenes in any film that I've ever seen. Um, I've seen this movie a few times now, and it never gets easier to watch that part. But it does serve the film, and while it's long and intense and graphic and disturbing, it's like it fits the film overall because this is a movie that's not supposed to like make you feel good. um, it's meant to show you like how sometimes like is revenge justified, and um, how something like an act of violence can result in something so terrible too, like another act, and just dysfunction leads to dysfunction and that sort of thing. And on a even more base note, like how horrific rape is, and obviously for people who haven't gone through something that horrific or anything, I mean, nothing will ever truly portray how horrific that act is and how disgusting and harmful and nightmarish and everything that is. But the film tries to do portray that in a way that's more realistic than other films, at least I'll say. Like the trauma that comes from that and everything. And it definitely does that, and it's very impactful. The entire movie is really fantastic, though. Um, the acting is top notch. The music, everything, um, everything in this movie is great. Gaspar Noé is one of my favorite film directors. He also did Climax, Enter the Void, I Stand Alone, Love, which I have not seen unfortunately yet. I will be watching it eventually, but he's very experimental in the way that he creates films. Um, but they always remain cohesive, in my opinion. This is definitely my favorite movie of his that I've seen, though. It's one of my favorite films of all time. Um, if you think you can stomach it, definitely give it a go. Um, it's not a horror movie like about a slasher villain or a creature or a ghost or anything, but it's probably the most horrific film I've seen. Even more than something like a Serbian film. That movie's like, movies like that are so stylized and everything that you're watching a movie even when stuff is gross or messed up. But like in concept, I mean, it's so stylized and there's music and everything. Um, at the end of the day, you're just watching a movie. This is a different tone altogether. That scene is so realistic and disturbing. Um, this is a movie that'll haunt you for a while after watching it. But if you think you can, you should definitely give this one a go. Um, I can't say enough good things about this film. It's fantastic. It's one of the best films of all time, in my opinion. Um, yeah, just give it a go. I bought this DVD copy a while ago. I believe it's streaming somewhere. Um, I have a computer in front of me because I'm filling banana box orders right now. Um, let's see. It is streaming on Tubi TV, so yeah, which is surprising considering the film got an NC-17 originally, or was at least unrated. But yeah, if you think you can stomach it, Tubi TV, it's free. Give it a go. It's on Vudu for free as well, I suppose. I'm looking at that, so you have no reason not to watch it if you think you can stomach it. If you can't, there's no shame in this. I broke it down. If you don't think you can handle what I said, there's no shame in that. But if you do think you can watch this, give it a go. It's near perfect. It's one of the best films of all time. So, yeah, that was day 4 of my 31 days of horror reviews. I'll come back tomorrow, obviously, doing another review. Um, Also, hopefully, I'm finally going to have a stand to record things on. It only took like 70 videos now. Um, Also, going to get a microphone and everything. Going to have something that I can actually look in the camera in so I don't keep looking like I'm glancing off screen. Um, yeah, hope everybody's enjoying the reviews so far this month. Going to be doing 31 days all the way through. So keep coming back for that. If you're not subscribed already, make sure to subscribe, keep notifications on. And as always, I'm your host, Herschel Gillis, signing off for today. Zero thoughts, zero editing, zero brain cells, and zero planning. Thanks, everybody.